Hello, hello, hello. We are live. I'm just going to go take a quick check to see if we are live on all the other channels. I'm waiting for everyone to come in, and thank you again. Okay, I'm going to go back. Oh, let's configure. I don't recall if I did. Okay. That's what I thought. Rumble. Edit. My stream key. Okay, let's see. Hi guys, I'm here. There's just some technical difficulties. Just give me 1 second here while I get everything set up. Okay, thank you. Hi guys, I'm here. Just give me 1 more minute. My apologies. We're going to get started. I am here. Okay, guys, I'm here. It's connected. It should have been connected to Rumble, but it's not connecting. Well, there's a delay to Rumble, but that's okay. That is okay. We need to get started already 5 minutes, and I don't want to keep you guys waiting. So once again, thank you so much for coming in. Tonight we're going to do a presentation. And today's presentation is a solution that I presented over 6 years ago to the technocracy. And today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to remind everyone why this is a viable solution. You will have to look into the laws of your own country because the laws may differ for you doing this. But if there are corporations in your country, it can be done. Number two, the best way for you to do this is, my apologies, the best way for you to do this after part one is you should insure your body. If you can't insure your body, then the next best thing to do is make sure you have income. Okay, some form of income. Okay, so I mentioned this before. I outlined how it should be done, and I think it's time that we bring this up again. I was streaming to Rumble, but however, it's saying that it's live on Rumble, but it's not picking up on Rumble. It's not going live at all. And that's because, oh, if there was just a delay. Okay, so it is live on Rumble, which is wonderful. Okay. Now, here's what's important before we get started. I want everyone to put in your comments and your questions. And then after we are done with the presentation, I will go back and I'll answer your questions. All right, guys. So during the presentation, I won't be able to see your comments, but when the presentation is done, I'd like to be able to answer your questions. Okay. Before we get started, it's imperative that people understand what they are trying to impose and why you're seeing billionaires who they're masquerading as our saviors. This is the worst thing that could happen. Billionaires masquerading as saviors before the billionaires were in the background. And I'm going to educate you as to what this means. Before, the billionaires were hiding in the background and they basically bribed your politicians from the back. Today, the billionaires are taking a more forward role in terms of politics, and politics are not being driven, societies are not being driven by the people who produce the goods and services, but it's being driven by the people who fund the corporations and who profit from the labor. The reason why I'll have to go back and educate my listeners as to what is taking place with the Billionaire Savior programming is because people must understand that what is taking place is called the Reich. If you are a MAGA swarm, if you are hived by MAGA, if you are hived or swarmed by the billionaires, meaning you believe this is 5D chess, fifth dimensional chess, you believe there's a plan to save the human race and billionaires are going to save the human race, this video is not for you. And the reason why this video is not for you, and I say this respectfully, because I don't want anyone's programming to kick in when I blast them with the truth and then they go insane. Because that is what happened the last time when I blasted them with the truth. I literally saw the person melt down and go insane. This is literally what happened. They melted down and went insane. And then said, how dare I say these things about Trump. He's here to save us. And I politely ask, when in history have billionaires saved working class people? Never. Okay? Now, to understand why the billionaires are moving from an invisible rule to a more active rule today, what does that mean? That, my friends, is called the Reich. That is called the Reich. Okay. YouTube rejected my comment. Unreal. Okay? Reich means rich. Reich with a lowercase Reich. Hold on. Reich with an uppercase R. I hope I get this right. Means rule. Reich with a lowercase R means rich. Oh, I probably mixed that up. It's probably the opposite way. It's opposite way around. There are two meanings to the word Reich. But when you use the word Reich, it is a play on words that means rule of the rich or rule by the rich. Does everyone understand English today? Why is this important? Because the billionaires are no longer content to be in the background. The Reich, as they are called, they want to be they don't want to pay for politics. They want to drive politics. So politicians are taking a secondary seat to the Reich. Why is this important? I'm not yelling. Let me lower my voice. This is important because the Reich had 3 phases prior to the phase that we are experiencing today. The first Reich was the creation of the Western Vatican. What? Yes, it was the First Reich. And that was a rule of the rich because the Vatican was the first Western corporation. Is everyone understanding English? You cannot have a Reich without a corporation. The Vatican, the Western Vatican, not the Eastern Orthodoxy, the Western Vatican was the first corporation. That was the First Reich. The Second Reich was under Napoleon. The Third Reich was under Hitler. And I will tell you something. Each Reich, rule of the rich, passed on the previous Reich until they came to the final Reich, which is the final rule of the rich. Hitler, who apparently is making a comeback with the truther community, telling you he was a wonderful human being. Hitler said his job was to create a new order, and he was the Third Reich. The Third Reich was to set up Israel, then hand over the Third Reich to the Fourth Reich, which is what is being set up today. The Fourth Reich has specific tenets. We are going to look at just the corporate doctrine of the Fourth Reich. And we're going to look at the solution to the Templars are Reichists. Yes, absolutely. The Templars set up the Vatican, my dear, and they were also the Vatican bankers. The Fourth Reich, there is no corporation without the Templars. There's no Hitler without the Templars, yada, 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 yada. These are all secret orders, whether they're military, whatever. I'll answer questions later. But great comment. Yes, it's the Templars. Now, the Fourth Reich, the Third Reich, was to test technocracy. Did everyone catch that? And the way in which the Third Reich tested technocracy was IBM. They needed the efficiency of the Third Reich to run on data. The Third Reich was also set up to test the Übermensch via poking holes in the human body. They did not create the Übermensch by doing push-ups in the gym. The Übermensch was created by poking holes into the human body. Hint, hint, hint. That is how they created the Übermensch. And it was a combination of poking holes, drugs, and genetic experiments. That was the goal, and technocracy under a corporate takeover. Let me tell you some of the institutions that the Third Reich created. Mega corporations were created from the Third Reich. Your pharmaceutical industry was created from your Third Reich. The processes and systems that goes with computers was created by your Third Reich. NASA and your intelligence agencies are all Reich. Yes, Bear. It's all the Third Reich. And the Third Reich cannot be a Third Reich without corporations. Okay? So today, we're going to look specifically at billionaires, which is what a Reich means, the rich, ruling over, which is what Reich means, to rule, what is left of the Übermensch. And this is why billionaires are not here to save you. They are here to set up the Reich. Let's get started because it's a lot of material we have to cover. Now, all I'm asking you to do is, if you believe Trump is playing 5D chess, this is going to conflict with your MAGA swarm intelligence AI. I am giving you a heads up out of respect. Let me say this again. If you believe Trump is playing 4D chess and he doesn't have a clue any of this is going on, it is going to conflict with the MAGA swarm intelligence algorithm. It may be better for you to bow out now. Following. Okay? I'll give you time for you to bow out respectfully. Sounds good? Okay. If you are here for knowledge and you're here to learn, and you must understand that billionaires, never once did billionaires save the working class, then you're in the right place. Okay, so you have a lot of material to cover. Today, we're only focusing on the Reich, how corporations were set up, and this is about literally 2,000 years of planning. And this is why they changed the original scriptures, which belongs to Palestinian people and East Africans. These are who the original scrolls were meant for. And they took those scrolls and changed it to scriptures, which means a play. Pay attention. Meaning there is no such thing as prophecy coming to pass because they planned it all. And part of the Reich, a major part of the Reich, is they exterminate large swaths of unworthy DNA. It is a Reich they're setting up, not freedom. Let's get started. So, like I said, respectfully, if you believe it's 5D chess, and Trump is here to save us, this is not for you. Okay. Everyone can see the screen. Wonderful. Can everyone see the screen? And I can follow you got your comments as well, right? Okay, wonderful. Let's get started. It's already 21 minutes. Okay, great. Let's get started, right? Now, incorporation is the key. But incorporation, listen carefully, because I told people to do this. Incorporation of your body is the basic solution to the Reich, to technocracy, to technocratic governance, which is slavery over your body. Rainetta, corporations are the problem. And this is what many a legal representative told me. Incorporating your body is not the key. I'm going to show you why it is. Yeah? When I presented this years ago, and it's way more than 6 years I presented this, I was told, no, that's not the solution because the corporations were given human rights. Listen, let's get started. And I'm not yelling. Now, do not use Google to find this clause because Google is going to give you a totalitarian interpretation of this clause. There is a commerce clause that governs trade in the United States among the indigenous Americans, the original people, and among the states. Okay? Interstate, which is between states, and then intrastate, which is in the state. Google is absolute garbage. Okay? Now everyone pay attention, but you can leave your comments. I'll get to your comments after. Yes, kid, you got it. Yeah. Okay. This is one of the most powerful tools that is in your arsenal. And it is something you must understand. The reason why this is one of the most important things for you to understand, UCC, Universal Commercial Code, which they went to change. So go look at the updated UCC code. The reason why this is so important is because had you known this, you would never have locked down when they told you to lock down. Okay? The notion of the Commerce Clause is that the Congress was given specific powers for harmonizing trade. I'm explaining to you how the clause works. It was not to be used to beat you over your head telling you what you can and can't trade. But the goal was, if Texas is trading with California, the trade must be harmonized and not hindered. This was the spirit of this clause when they originally had the clause. It's called the Commerce Clause. You can go look it up. Okay? It was meant to harmonize trade, and Congress was given specific powers. The specific power was to print money. What does that mean? It means if California, as a union, 50 states, hypothetically, if California is trading with Texas, you need a harmonization of trade. Meaning, Texas can't say, hey, we have a Texas dollar, California could only trade, export, or import into Texas using the Texas dollar. You following? So the goal of the Commerce Clause was to harmonize trade among the states when you're talking about inside the United States. The phrase, Congress shall not hinder trade among the states, is related to the Commerce Clause, which state that Congress has the power to regulate commerce in between the 50 states. Yes, Connor, we know this, right? We know this. I'll get to your questions later. This clause, often interpreted to mean, listen carefully. This will explain why mega corporations were not shut down, but your small business was. Yeah, watch this. This clause is often interpreted to mean that Congress should not impose unnecessary restrictions on trade between states, allowing for the free flow of goods and services across the states. There is also what you call intra-trade. An intra-trade, that is trade within the state that a state, listen carefully why lockdowns were illegal and why mega corporations stayed open while your business was destroyed. I tried to tell people this way before 2019. I tried to educate the public about this way before 2019. And the public kept running to Decepticons. But here we are again. So the interstate said that Congress should not impose unnecessary restrictions. They did. Thus, it was illegal to lock down. Intra-trade, that is trade within the states, also said that the state should not impose restriction on the free flow of goods and services within the state. And they did. And this is why it was illegal to lock down. Now do you understand why mega corporations stayed open and your businesses were shut down? And you were sitting there saying, hey, but this is criminal. Do you know why the mega corporations stayed open and your business was shut down? Because they knew this clause. Yeah? All right, let's move forward. The Commerce Clause shall not hinder trade among the states is a key aspect of the Commerce Clause, and this is the clause, Article 1, Section 8, Clause 3 of the U.S. Constitution, dealing with trade. This clause states that Congress has the power to regulate commerce among several states. That's the interstate trade. But watch this. Congress shall not impose unnecessary restrictions between the states. Lockdown was illegal. Now, what are the principles of the Commerce Clause? The Commerce Clause says goods should always flow freely. But watch this. Goods and services should not be hindered. Now do you understand why they didn't lock everyone down? What they did is, just like the Nazis did, who people are all of a sudden praising, the Nazis delegated one part of society, and I still got a problem with you Jews and your bad behavior, but I'm going to show you how the Reich did the lockdowns. I'm going to show you how the Third Reich introduced the Fourth Reich during the lockdowns. The Nazis divided German society into two. The lockdowns divided global society into two. Under the Third Reich, Jewish people were given a start, and I'm not defending Jewish people and their godless behavior. I still got a bone to pick with you. But what I am showing is, just like slavery, just like apartheid, just like the feudal system in Europe, the Nazis did the same thing to the Jews. And it is wrong. Okay? If you didn't like the Jews, why put them in these camps? Why not just say, take your wealth and leave the country? Jay, the Nazis deserve the abuse they got, but the Jewish Reich at the top were the ones orchestrating it. You got to look into who funded the Nazis. The Nazis got the abuse they deserve because MK Ultra came from them. Your pharmaceutical companies comes from them. You following? The Ubermensch, that is poking holes into people's bodies and they don't know what the hell is in there, came from them. So no, they deserve the abuse they got. However, what the Jews were doing in Germany to the German people, where they were creating a society where Jews didn't have to pay taxes and German people were footing the bill, the Jews were wrong for that. Destroying the German economy and plunging Germany into lawless, sex-filled hellhole, the Jews were wrong for that. The Jews were wrong for what they did to the Russians. The Jews were wrong for what they did in apartheid South Africa. And when apartheid fell, they ran to Israel. So like I said, I don't excuse the Jews and their fuckery, but I'm not excusing the Nazis either. They're all full of shit. Anyway, so I hope I explained that. You following? What the Jews did to the Germans was wrong. What the Germans did to the rest of us was wrong. What the Jews did to the Russians was horrific. What the Jews did to the South Africans was wrong. And subsequently, what the Jews are doing to the Palestinians is beyond horrific. I have no words, but let's focus, right? The Nazis are not saviors, okay? The Nazis are equally as bad as the Jews. Both of them, their conduct is disgusting. This is for us, the regular people, not these psychos. But I hope I made that clear. Anyway, let's look at the principles because we got a lot to cover. The most important thing with the Commerce Clause, you have to understand this. If they come, because they're coming again, right? The Commerce Clause says goods and services must flow freely in the United States. What happened in German society, what happened under slavery, what happened to the feudal system, which is European slavery, what happened in Eastern European slavery, what they did was created a two-tiered society. That is the Reich. That is the premise of the Reich. The Reich is a society with what happened in India. India still lives under a Reich today. That Reich is called Brahmanism. Palestinians live under a Reich today. That is called Zionism. Okay? And what they would like to impose on planet Earth today is the Fourth Reich. What is the Fourth Reich? A society of have and have-nots. People need to go and study who funded Nazism and Hitler. When you see who funded him, you will never side with Hitler. Hitler was a bastard, just like the criminal Jews who were abusing Germans. But the Germans turned around and exterminated Africans, and the Africans did nothing to them. Did we forget about that? The Nama and the Herero. So the problem is, us humans, we keep worshiping the rich who kill us, and we kill each other for them. Now let's look at the two-tiered system, and we're going to use communist Russia. We're going to use communist Russia. We're going to use communist China, both set up by Jews. We're going to use Nazi Germany, set up by the Vatican and the Jewish bankers, because that's who funded Hitler. Let me say it again. The Jewish bankers in New York funded Hitler to set up the Reich, and his second mission was to create Israel. That's why I always tell people Israel is a Nazi state. It was set up by the Reich. Okay? Okay, so under communist Russia, Bolshevik communists, under Nazi Germany, under apartheid South Africa, slavery in the Americas, you name it, colonialism, Brahmin India. The Reich was the rich and the slaves. 2019, they set up the Reich. They called the Reich because the Reich always have a two-tiered society. There is no middle. Essential versus non-essential. The non-essential were not allowed to participate in commerce. I need a moderator to make sure everyone pays attention. Connor, moderate. Make sure everyone pays attention. I need you guys to pay attention. Okay? Connor, you're the moderator. I'm going to make you the moderator, Connor. Hold on, give me a second. I need you guys to pay attention, and I need your questions to be focused on what I'm teaching. The reason why this is important. I'm sorry. The reason why this is important. Hold on. Connor, you're a moderator. Okay, done. The reason why I need you guys to pay attention, because this is life and death, and it's a lot. Connor, you're the moderator. The reason why this is, I need you guys to focus on what I'm teaching. Thank you, Connor. It's because this is life and death. This is not a joke, people. Okay? Under the Reich that was set up in 2019, they divided the people into essential versus non-essential. The key under the Reich that was set up, Jay, no worries, no worries. We're talking about going forward. No worries, no worries. But this is life and death. I need people to focus, and it's a lot of material. No worries. Under the Reich, when they classified people as essential versus non-essential, non-essential were not permitted to participate in, hold on, commerce. Did you guys catch that? Let's define the principle of commerce. This is your right, American people, and other countries have similar clauses. Commerce under the Constitution says goods must flow, goods and services, stress services must flow freely across the state, allowing for economic unity, cooperation among the states. They denied you this because this is what the Reich does. The Reich denied, just like the Brahmins denied, just like the Zionists denied. large swaths of society from participating in commerce. The second thing that occurred in 2019 was when they separated the people under the Reich, they instituted discrimination. They called the people who were non-essential, they discriminated against the people who were non-essential. Listen carefully to your rights under the Commerce Clause. States are not allowed to discriminate against or restrict trade with other states. Remember, some of you will say, hey, but what if I don't do interstate goods? It covers services. Ensuring that all states have equal access to markets and resources. They enacted discrimination. SDL, stick to the point, stick to the point. We're not talking about Christianity and 10,000 years. Congressional regulations. Congress has the power to regulate interstate commerce. Watch this, watch this, watch this. Listen carefully. But they must do so in a way that does not hinder or restrict trade among the states. They hindered and restricted trade and delegated trade to mega corporations and not mom and pop stores. Did everyone catch that? I'm not moving ahead until I know you understand what I just showed you. 2019, they rolled in the Reich. Thank you, Connor. Anybody else? Thank you, Benjamin. Anybody else? I need to make sure you understand this. Because if you don't understand the basis of commerce in your country, and commerce is directly tied to your freedom, they will do it again because your Bible says you are killed for lack of knowledge. Wonderful. Thank you, guys. Right? Let's move forward. Let's get to that. We first covered your rights to do trade. This is the bedrock of your freedom under the Commerce Clause. You have the right to participate in intrastate and interstate trade of goods and services. And the role of Congress is to do one thing: harmonize the trade. And make sure the trade is legal. Why is that important? Why is that important? Because in 2019, what they did is they harmonized trade for mega corporations because mega corporations knew that law. And they denied small businesses and medium-sized businesses. They literally labeled large swaths of middle-class businesses as non-essential. If you knew that law, they could not lock you down. Now let's get to the Reich. In section, is everyone on Earth today? Do I have your full attention today? Element 5, thank you. Element 5, thank you. Anybody else here? Okay, great. Okay, great. Okay. All right, everyone gets that part. Now let's get to the most important part for you to understand what is happening across the nations of the world. It is not a coincidence. Billionaires are not here to save you. In section 1332C of Title 28 of the United States Code, listen carefully, Congress provided that for the purpose of diversity jurisdiction, meaning that the place in which the corporation was set up and the place in which the corporation exists, that is called diversity jurisdiction, lawsuits can be filed. Okay? Now listen carefully to what they did. Congress classified corporations as citizens. Listen carefully. I don't think you guys heard what I just said. Because if you did, you'd fall off your seat. Congress gave corporation equal rights as citizens in two legal domains. One domain is the state where the corporation was incorporated. Let's say they incorporated in Colorado, but they're doing business in New Jersey. Congress said that corporations are not businesses, but citizens of a country. I don't think you guys understood what I just said. Let me know if you understand English. Let me know if you understand English. Beach Baby said, that's bad. There you go. Kid says, wait, so they're like beings themselves, or it gets worse? Derwin says yes, Patrick says yes. Okay, your comments are letting me know you understand. So stick a pin in corporations are not businesses. Corporations are people doing business. And legally, they have the rights of a citizen. Okay? Let's type corporations are citizens. Did anybody tell you this? Let's continue. Guess what? I explained diversity jurisdiction, which means that a corporation, if there's a controversy, blah, 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 they can be sued, yada, 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 yada. You don't really need to know that. I kind of explained that, okay? Now here is where you should fall off your seat. If corporations are citizens, then the question we need to ask is, what rights are they granted? Now, on the screen, these are the rights they're granted, and this should horrify you, but it should also give you clarity as to why things are moving in the direction they're moving. And when I show you their powers, you will say, Rainetta, what you're telling us is the truth. The first right corporations have is the right to free speech. Did you know that? Corporations can engage in commercial speech, which includes advertising and speaking on matters of public concern, and Congress cannot hinder their speech. Corporations have the right of freedom of religion granted to them, and corporations can file exemptions on federal laws on religious grounds. First Amendment rights. Here is where it gets really deep. Corporations have Fourth Amendment rights of privacy. Not you, corporations. Corporations are protected from warrantless search and seizure. The police, the FBI, none of them, the intelligence agencies, none of them can enter a corporation to search them or seize their assets without a warrant or without just cause. They can do it to you. They can do it to you. They cannot do it to a corporation. Did you catch that? Corporations have the right to due process, meaning they have the right to judge, a jury, and a trial by jury in a court of law. Not you. You get a gunshot in your head. You get arrested and beaten up. You get your assets stolen. You cannot do that to a corporation. Are you understanding English today? Do you see why they shadow ban me left, right, and center? You see why Facebook kicked my black ass out and say, you ain't coming back here, bitch. Excuse me. Facebook locked me out of my account and said, you ain't coming back here. You waking up too many zombies. Yeah. Okay. Let's get to equal protection under the law. Corporations have equal protection under the law, not you. Corporations. You get your assets taken. You get beaten up. You get thrown into the slammer. Not corporations. They have equal protection under the law. Now let's get to property rights, which is a part of your Fourth Amendment, meaning the right of respect to your digital emails, media, social media, papers, private effects, the papers in your house. Okay, and the reason why I said digital first is because corporations, their digital property rights must be respected, not yours. Corporations. The emails of corporations must be respected and be private, not yours. Do you understand that you cannot go and look into a corporate email without a warrant? But yours, all the intelligence agencies can data collect yours, not corporations. Let's get into property rights. Corporations have property rights. You cannot seize the building of a corporation just like that. Nope. But banks can seize your homes just like that. You cannot seize the cars that corporations own just like that. Banks can seize your cars just like that. That's a great one. You cannot tax corporations just like that, but they can tax you just like that. Is anyone beginning to understand that they are taking us into a Reich? Now, let me show you the power that corporations exercise when their citizen rights, not human rights, but citizen rights are violated. Corporations can use these rights, the rights I listed, to challenge any law that regulates the economy or the marketplace. Did you understand English today? Does anyone understand English today? Or do I need to speak French? Do I need to say it in Swahili? You want me to translate in Mandarin? Or perhaps Russian? Or perhaps ancient Armenian? Do you understand English? Let me read it again. Corporations can use these rights, the rights listed above. Listen carefully. To challenge laws. You guys didn't catch what I just said. The ones who create the laws, the powers, the delegation of power that would create laws to restrict corporation is Congress. Now let me translate this in French. Or Avion said ancient Arabic. Let me speak it in ancient Arabic. Corporation can use their rights to challenge Congress, who would regulate the economy and regulate the marketplace. Let me ask you a question. Can you challenge Congress? Listen carefully, the powers of a corporation. Corporations have used their rights, listen carefully, to overturn laws. What? The laws come from Congress. Let me say this again. Corporations have used their rights to overturn laws that encourage locally owned businesses and laws that restrict big box stores from developing in small communities. They overturn state and federal laws. Corporations can do this. Did you know that? Now do you understand essential versus non-essential is the right? Now do you understand that essential versus essential was the Reich exercising its corporate power over the planet? Let's continue. Now, the Department of Injustice, and the reason why I call them injustice is because they play a powerful role in my technological trafficking by turning a blind eye to the corporations. Oh, we didn't see that. Oh, did that really happen to you? Well, you know, I didn't see that. Did that happen? I didn't see that. But if I steal a Twinkie from the Twinkie store, the Department of Justice will have the binoculars to see me before I steal the Twinkie from the Twinkie stores and throw me in jail. But when the corporations throw you into technological trafficking, all of a sudden the Department of Justice don't see nothing. But anyway, let's continue. Now, the Department of Justice, when it's working, these are the laws that's supposed to protect human citizens. Antitrust laws, the Sherman Act, the Clayton Act, and RICO laws. These are supposed to be the arbiters that rein in the corporations when they abuse you, when they abuse the regular people, when they abuse the workers, when they abuse competition. There are 4 laws that protect you. The reason why you must know this is because you must understand the legal framework as to why lockdowns and why labeling you discriminatory labels was the bringing in of the Fourth Reich. The lockdowns was against antitrust laws. The lockdown was against the Sherman Act. The lockdown was against the Clayton Act. And the lockdown was blatantly in violation of RICO. Did you catch that? The Antitrust Division, which all of a sudden they go blind when the corporations commit crimes, enforces antitrust and competition laws. These laws, listen carefully, prohibit anti-competitive conduct and mergers that deprive American consumers. Let me give you an idea of mergers. There were so many mergers of large corporations and banks while the American people were locked down. Did the DOJ go after any of them? Nope. When mom and pop stores and medium-sized businesses were shut down, large competitors came and took over their market share. Did the DOJ go against them? No. The DOJ was supposed to go to because this was in violation of antitrust laws. Let's get to the Sherman Act. The Sherman Act, the law prohibits, oh, look, oh, wait, oh, conspiracies. Wait, you're calling me a conspiracy theorist, but your antitrust law says conspiracies take place. And the lockdowns was a conspiracy to get the market share of small to medium-sized businesses and turn over the large market share of small to medium-sized businesses over to the mega corporations. That's a conspiracy. The lockdowns were a conspiracy because the lockdowns restrained trade. The Sherman Act is what small and medium-sized businesses should have invoked against the state and the federal government telling them to lock down. But how many people taught you this? I was teaching you guys this 6 years ago. Watch this. Under the Sherman Act, agreements among competitors. These were the large corporations moving in on the market share of the medium and small businesses to fix prices or wages. All of that was going on. Remember the price gouging for the gloves and the masks? Remember the price gouging for the test kits? Remember the price gouging for toilet paper? Remember the price gouging that was going on for food? Remember the price gouging that was going on for water? All of this fell under the Sherman Act. Remember the price gouging for the masks? The masks went from 99 cents for like, I don't know, 20 to like $50 for like 2. Okay? All of that fell under the Sherman Act. Remember that the masks were sold by several different groups before, but under COVID, the masks were only sold by 2 groups. All of that fall under the Sherman Act. Rig bids, allocate customers, that was going on. That's also under antitrust. Workers, rigging the markets. When you have 400 new billionaires, while your business was shut down, that falls under the antitrust laws. Criminal violations. Will anybody prosecuted for this behavior? Nope. You know who was prosecuted? You and me, who didn't want a restriction on the flow of goods and services. Those of us who were abiding by the American commerce laws that says you do not restrict the flow of goods and services. There was no clause that says in the American Commerce Clause that you restrict goods and services because there's a virus. It's not there. Okay? Now let me show you. The Sherman Antitrust Act also criminalizes what they call monopolistic behavior. Let me show you monopolistic behavior. Prior to the lockdowns, there were, I think, 100 billionaires. Due to the lockdown, there were 400 plus new billionaires. That is called monopolistic behavior. Why? Because their money came directly from destroying their competitors and taking over their products and services and monopolizing it. The Sherman Act said monopolistic behavior is illegal. Did anyone teach you this? Monopolistic behavior is supposed to be criminally and civilly prosecuted. And then the Clayton Act is about promoting fair competition, which did not occur under the lockdown because they used a Fourth Reich tactic. Jews versus Germans, essential versus non-essential. In communist Russia, they called them the communist elite versus the plebs, the plebeians. Okay? There's another name instead of plebs that they call them. I can't think of it right now. But the communist system in Brahmanism is literally, you are light skinned, you're closer to God, you're dark skinned, you're an untouchable. In feudalistic Europe, it's the merchant class and the nobles. They have the divine right to rule and have all the money. And then the poor whites, your job was to till the fields and give 99% of your crop to the rich. So the Clayton Act was put there to prevent this. It was put there to prevent restricting competition. Okay? That was broken. Let's continue. Let's get to why incorporating your body is the solution. Corporations have been granted the rights of a citizen. When you incorporate your body, you, by virtue, are now given the rights of a corporation. What Facebook did to me, Rainetta as a corporation, I can lean Facebook and let them have me back there. Put back my account. But I really don't give a damn about Facebook. They're full of shit. Okay? Because Facebook attempted, by locking me out of my account as a corporate citizen, I'm incorporated, denying my free speech. You cannot deny the free speech of a corporation. I do not engage with the public as a citizen. I engage with the public as an incorporated citizen. Why incorporating your body is the solution? Governments worldwide, listen carefully, regular citizens, this is what governments have been doing. Pay attention to this. Governments secretly limited citizens' rights and maximized corporate citizen rights. Did you guys catch that? Now, I, as a corporation on Facebook, I'm Black Sunrise. I could literally go after Facebook for kicking me out, for blocking me from my account, because I'm incorporated. And when I engage with the public, I engage with the public as an incorporated citizens. I can go after them. All right, but let's get back to this. I want you guys to pay attention. Is everyone paying attention to why incorporating your body is so important? Okay. Only two people. Thank you, Kit. Thank you, Avion. I need you guys to catch this. This is the most important part. I had to give you the bedrock of what is going on. Now I'm giving you the solution. You got to pay attention to this. Because remember, this is not just making a video. I am educating you. I am showing you the way out. Okay? Now, governments all over the world, this is what they did. Not doing, this is what they did. Citizens who are not incorporated, governments all over the world have taken away their rights or extremely limited their rights. Simultaneously, the same governments maximized the rights of the corporate citizen. Number 3, corporations cannot have their freedom of speech, their freedom of religion, their freedom of movement hindered, their freedom of expression hindered. Corporations cannot have their Fourth Amendment. This is specifically to Americans. Corporations cannot have their Fourth Amendment rights violated. That means unwarranted searches and seizures, violations of their artifacts, their papers, and that includes their digital papers. They cannot have their emails violated. Corporations cannot have even if their email is Yahoo, I engage with Yahoo as a corporation, they cannot violate my Fourth Amendment right. They are, but they can't. Corporations are guaranteed due process. Corporations are guaranteed that their property rights are respected. Now, here's where it gets most important, because this is the imposition of the Reich that the Reich is going to try to impose between 2025 and 2027. Corporations cannot be hindered from legal interstate commerce and interstate trade. Now, watch this. Incorporated citizens, you incorporating your body, not a business. I need you to understand the difference. Not the business where you do your goods, where you do your services. I'm talking about your body. I'm talking about your body. This is why I need you guys to pay attention. I'm going to show you what I did. When you incorporate, you can merge with other incorporated citizens across states and nations. I'm going to show you. When you incorporate your body, not your business, not just your business is your property. I'm talking about your body, right? International trade cannot be hindered. Meaning, I don't care what the European Union says. Their law says we can't hinder trade. I don't care what they tell you about lockdowns in Australia. Your law says you can't hinder trade. Let me show you why they can't hinder trade. When you incorporate your body, and your body becomes your assets, and the place where you do your business falls under corporate property rights. Listen carefully. Listen carefully. To stop an incorporated citizen, right here, number 9, from incorporating their bodies and becoming a corporate citizen, listen carefully. Governments would have to dismantle state, national, and international trade in order to stop you. Did you catch that? Let me say it again. When you decide to incorporate your body and you engage online as a corporation, you engage with the public as a corporation, governments cannot stop you from engaging, using your body in what is called legal trade, legal commerce. Don't tell me you incorporated your body to sell crack and now you're being persecuted by the government. Okay? In order for the governments who gave this power to corporations to stop you, they would have to dismantle state trade, national trade, and global trade in order to stop you. Let me show you how I defeated them. When I learned the laws of corporations and trade, here is where you win. I'm going to say this again. Here is where you win, because this is where they want to take you and I. Remember, I told you the key is not your business over there is a corporation. The key is because the government made corporations citizen bodies. The key is you have to make your physical body a citizen body, an incorporated citizen body. This is how you dismantle the technocracy with one strike. When you incorporate your body, listen carefully, you are now 100% owner of the technology they put in your body. Did you hear English today? I am not moving until you heard English today. Hmm? Hmm. Did you guys catch that? This is how I defeated them. And I will do a whole video on why this is the only basic solution that you need to build on. The Reich wants to own your body and corporatize your body. That is why the governments give corporations the rights of citizens. You win by incorporating your body, thus making you sole owner to the corporation, thereby making you sole owner. If they poke a hole in you and put technology in you, if you are unincorporated, they own you, they own that technology. I'm going to do that in part 2 because the video I made, they destroyed the audio. If you are an incorporated citizen, if they poke a hole in you, not only are you the owner of your body, you are now the owner of the technology. I will show you, Rasta, how you deal with that. Everyone caught that. Now watch this. Let's get down to what the property rights are for corporations. An incorporated citizen, according to their laws, owns 100% of what they call trade secrets. When you incorporate your body and you do business as an incorporated citizen, you are now the owner of 100% of your neural property. I own the Neuralink in my head. I own the interrogators in my vagina. I own the body area controller in my pelvic area. Now watch this. Your knowledge base, meaning your skills, when you incorporate, is now 100% yours because it falls under trade secrets. If you don't understand what I'm trying to show you with neural property, why your neural property must be under your control, you need to go look up Internet of Brains, where they want to traffic the data from your neural property. You need to understand Internet of Bodies, where they want to own your body, own the data and the systems, traffic it on the blockchain. They get rich and you get nothing. Where they want to own your skills, and they take your skills, put technology in your body, and then transfer your skills to an AI and then exterminate you. The data that is in your body, it's called biodata. When you incorporate, I own the data. I own the digital footprint because it's called big data. Look into big data. This is how they traffic us. Metadata and big data. This is how they also kill us with data and metadata. My digital footprint, even if I act like a clown online, it is mine under the property rights of corporations. My digital traffic does not belong to Facebook, Instagram, social media. It is mine. My digital twin, which is what they're building with the AI to kill you and then put you in the metaverse and run you as a digital twin, it's mine. My digital image is mine because I'm incorporated. Them trafficking me in the Internet of Body is mine. The intellectual property is mine. Now get this. The profits they have made off of me, all of it is mine. Because I understood that governments outsourced the Bill of Rights, gave it to corporations, and destroyed the Bill of Rights for unincorporated citizens. If you need me to repeat that part, I will. Let me know if you need me to repeat that again. I had to do this research. I had to go back to college with no money. And I had to study in order to find out how they were able to do this to me. And I realized the way in which they were able to do this to me is what you call the Reich, meaning corporate rule. So I had to go back and study corporate law. I had to go back and study antitrust laws, RICO laws, universal commercial codes. I had to study these things. And I had to find the loophole that gave me 100% ownership of my body. And get this, all the profits that they're generating under technological trafficking, that is why these billionaires are prepping to take over the White House. They are prepping to technologically traffic the entire planet. And I'm trying to show the human race how the way out of it. Let me say this again. Governments outsourced, listen carefully, this is the bedrock to why incorporating your body is the way out. Governments all over the world dismantled the Bill of Rights for people who are unincorporated. Let me classify unincorporated. Unincorporated means that your body is not a corporation. Corpse means body. Corpo is Latin for body. Not your business. Let me say this again, because people are going to misunderstand what a corporation is. The word corporation, the prefix, the first 5 letters of the word corporation was corpo. In Spanish is cuerpo. It means body. Governments all over the world took away the Bill of Rights, civil rights, from unincorporated citizens and gave those rights to corporations. You following? So when you incorporate, you do not incorporate a business. You incorporate a corpo, your body. Your body becomes the corporate citizen, reinstating your rights. Let's continue. Incorporating bodies and technology. This is where it gets really important, because the needle Nazis are coming again to poke holes, demanding ownership of the corpo. But Rainetta, how can an incorporated corporation exercise authority over me unincorporated? Your government gave them the right. Now, number one, when you incorporate the corpo, the body, an incorporated citizen, listen carefully, uses your physical body, your corpo, as the means to conduct business. Meaning, when you are not engaging with your family, when you are not engaging with your friends, when you're not engaging socially, you are using your corpo, your corporation, to conduct business. Let me say that again. When you're not engaging with your family in a social setting, when you're not engaging with your friends in a social setting, when you're not engaging with your neighbors in a social setting, you are using your corpo, your body, to conduct business. An incorporated citizen uses your body to conduct business. This means the act of production, making stuff, or services is now governed by your body's ability to conduct trade. Why is this going to save you? It means anybody coming to poke a hole in you is not doing so to make you feel better. They are engaging in trade. You guys don't understand what I just said. I just dropped a bombshell to save your life. Does anyone understand English? Or do I need to speak English again? Let me say this again. When an incorporated citizen, when you take what I'm teaching you and go incorporate your body, you are conducting trade. Even if you post a comment on Facebook using your corporation, it's business. Even if your comment is stupid, silly, nonsense, garbage, nope, it's protected because you incorporated. Okay? Now, what does that mean? We looked at the rights granted to corporations. Anyone coming with a needle and saying, you must do this, it is no longer an act of them making you feel better. It is an act of trade. Did you catch that? So no one can say to your corporation, you got to poke a hole in your body. Nope, I don't. I will not poke a hole in my body. What does that mean? That is a contract. In order for you to engage with me as an incorporated citizen, you got to present me with a contract. Did you catch what I just said? No one can come with you with a magic needle and tell you poke a hole in your body. No, you are engaging in trade. I need a contract because my body is incorporated. What does that mean? It means I conduct business with my body. You wanting to poke a hole in me is conducting business. I need a contract. Now watch this. Because they want you to poke a hole in your body with a needle, they must produce a contract because they're engaging in trade. In that contract, they must have a liabilities clause. Why? Because if you want me to engage in trade with your needle, if my body that I use to conduct trade, this is their laws. This is not me, this is their laws. Let me say it again. I am not violating the laws of the United States. I am telling you the laws of the United States. If they present me with a needle, if they present me with a lockdown, they have to give me a contract. And in that contract, according to contract law, there must be a liabilities clause for damages. Why? You're hindering my body's ability to conduct trade. And according to the United States laws, you cannot hinder trade. Did you catch that? If I get damaged from you poking a hole in me, if my business gets ruined from you locking me down, you are hindering trade. And according to United States trade law, you cannot hinder the free flow of goods and services. When you incorporate your body, you now have the full rights of a corporation with protections under trade secrets. Go look up trade secrets. You now have Fourth Amendment protection in your property, meaning when they send the super soldiers to kick your door in, they can't because you're incorporated. They cannot enter the place where you do trade without a warrant. They would have to violate their own corporate and trade laws. Yes, Kit, you got it. 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 That's what I'm teaching you. Now, this is where it's very important for you to understand. Because the Reich hates your body, but they want the data. Did you catch that? The Reich does not want your inferior DNA, my inferior DNA, but the Reich wants your brain and your organs. The Reich wants your assets, your houses, your cars, your land. The Reich wants your children, but the Reich does not want you. Understand the Reich. This, when you incorporate, you are given the benefits of what they call trade secrets. Trade secrets. And I'm going to explain to you why this is one of the most powerful things in your arsenal. And this is why I told you, I am the owner of the Neuralink in my head. I am the owner of all the technology in my body. Get this, and I am owed every cent that they made off of me. Why? Because I incorporated my body. I did not use the Bill of Rights as a citizen. No. I put myself under an incorporated citizen. And I said, according to your laws, you engaged in monopolistic behavior against me to limit my ability to conduct trade. When you incorporate your body, you have what is now called trade secrets. Let me help the intellectuals save themselves from the coming Department of Government extermination under the Reich. The definition of a trade secret, listen, intellectuals, because you're the one they're coming after. Okay? All forms and types of financial, business, scientific, technical, economic, engineering information, your patterns, your patterns, your plans, compilations, programs, devices, formulas, designs, prototypes. Your intellectual property is now protected when you incorporate your body. What does that mean? One of the things the Reich wants to do is put a chip in your head and then traffic your brain activity to the AI, create data on you, and sit back and get rich. I own all of it. You as a citizen don't. Thus, why you must incorporate yourself. Listen carefully to the trade secrets you are afforded. The information must derive from independent economic value, actual or potential. What? That means your thoughts. That means your thoughts on paper. Watch this. Let me show you your thoughts. From not being generally known to and not being readily ascertainable through proper means by the public, meaning your secrets. Your thoughts are the most important trade secret that you own when you incorporate your body. Therefore, anyone wanting to put a brain chip in your head, Elon Dusty Musk, is in violation of the Trade Secret Act. The owner must have taken reasonable measures to keep the information secret, yeah, like in your brain. So putting a brain chip in your head will violate the Trade Secrets Act when you incorporate your body. I don't think you guys understand what I'm trying to show you. Did you guys catch that? Misappropriation, like Elon Musk or any of the technocrats wanting to put technology in your body, because that's why the Fourth Reich is hovering around the new president, because that's what they're planning. It's called misappropriation of trade secrets. Watch this. The acquisition of a trade secret, your thoughts, Your thoughts become your trade secrets because your body is the means with which you do business. Okay. It's called misappropriation. Putting a chip in your head without a contract. And a contract, a legal contract under law, there are three ways in which you can contract. Okay? There's a verbal contract, there's a non-verbal contract, and then there's like an assumed contract. Okay? Without, in this case, because you're using your body to do business, you want to have, assumed contract is like a handshake, right? You want to have it written. Okay? The contract. Since there is no contract, I did not engage in a contract with Apple, Amazon, the government, the churches, none of them to put technology in my body. This is what is called misappropriation of trade secrets. Let me show you how I defeated my enemies. The acquisition of a trade secrets of another by a person whom knows or has reason to know that the trade secret was acquired by improper means. Meaning you stole it. That is what they did by putting technology in my body. They stole my trade secrets of an incorporated person, citizen. Disclosure or use of trade secret of another without express or implied consent by a person who I did not consent under the Trade Secrets Act, used improper means to acquire the knowledge of the trade secrets. Microchips in your body. The Trade Secret Act protects you against technology in your body when you are an incorporated citizen. Knew or had reason to know that the knowledge of the trade secret was derived from or through a person who had used improper means to acquire it. Microchips without a contract. And in a contract, let me explain to you what a contract is. A contract is two or more parties coming together. The contract must have specific criteria in it. One of the criteria of a contract is payment. Did you catch that? In order for a contract to exist, the contract must have a date and a duration. The contract must have the parties involved. The contract must stipulate finances. This is how I defeated them. They never paid me for stealing my trade secret. They are in violation of contract law because they used what they call misappropriation to acquire information, whether it is government, whether it's corporation, because it's a mix of government, church, and corporations who did this to me. They are all in violation of their own laws. Now, there is a remedy. A trade secret owner may bring civil action for misappropriation in federal court, seeking relief, including injunctive relief, compensatory damages. I told you they owe me, and attorney fees. Now, they said, but Rainetta, you found this out years ago and did nothing. Let me tell you why the statute of limitations doesn't apply. The statute of limitation does not include an ongoing crime. If the crime is ongoing, the statute of limitation does not apply. So the corporation cannot say, hey, they found this out 10 years ago and did nothing. It's an ongoing crime. Therefore, there is no statute of limitation. They owe me. Now, do you see why they persecute the shit out of me? Because they know they owe me a lot of money. This is where everyone must understand. This is the most important thing every living human being must understand, because this is what they want to do. When you incorporate your body, it changes the way in which you engage with technology. Benjamin, I'm going to get to that in part 2, including technology where they want to set up technological trafficking, where the billionaires who they're claiming is coming to save you, where they want to traffic you on the blockchain, they become quadrillionaires and you're a slave, can't leave your apartment and can't walk 15 minutes from your house. Implants, Internet of Bodies, Internet of Brains, wireless body area network, controlling area networks, control systems. These are the controllers they put in your body to turn you into a computer and a remote control. Body area controllers, these are controllers they put in your body to turn you into a robot. MEMS implants are military and medical implants. This is what they use to illegally experiment on you via the military or via medical. Bionics implants, bionics networks, bionics nanotech is what they use to turn you into robots. This is how they build their Ubermensch. Bioweapons. Yes, bioweapons have signatures. You can find the signatures in the cells. Chemical weapons have signatures. You can find the signature of the chemical weapons. Messagens, basically, they put it comes in the form of a liquid. When they poke a hole under your skin, the messagens are literally like origami. They unfold, they go from liquid to solid, and then they use a signal for the messagens to come together, and they form bigger structures in the body. What they do is the messagen is the liquid part of the needle. When they poke the hole in your skin, they guide the messagen as a liquid to where it wants to go. They can guide it to your sex organs. They can guide it to your brain. They send the messagen through the bloodstream. Let's say they guide it to the brain. When it gets to the brain, this is how they hit it with a signal to form larger structures in the brain. Then you have your classic chips. You have your AI, your algorithms. You get to data. Do you know the most important data is your neural data? This is where they're building the systems they're coming to efficiently exterminate you with. Your neural data is a trade secret. Let me say this again. Your neural data is a trade secret. Did anyone tell you this? Thank you, beloved. I need some more info on that. Okay, beloved, send me the info on McLean, Virginia. Okay, let me say this again. People, the most important thing the billionaires are after is your neural data. Your neural data is what they use to build the systems to replace you. When you incorporate yourself, your neural data is now a trade secret. Tanya, you're welcome. Sherry, that is a lie, because I have the old video. I'm gonna post the old video where I showed you incorporating your body is possible because athletes, celebrities, CEOs incorporate their bodies. It's a lie. I'll send you the old video, but they messed up the audio in the old video, but it's on the screen where it says how to incorporate your body. Models, I used to model. Models incorporate their bodies. They're lying. Let me say this again about your neural data. Your neural data is what the billionaires are after. The billionaires who are lazy motherfuckers who suck the breasts of taxpayer dollars, who they claim are coming to save you, are after your neural data. The neural data is what they use to build the coming robots they're going to use to efficiently exterminate you. The neural data is traded across the blockchain. I did a whole video on the black budget of Wall Street many years ago, where those who are technologically trafficked are used to make the people billionaires, and then from billionaires. This is what Jeffrey Epstein was working on. Jeffrey Epstein was not just violating children. Jeffrey Epstein was working on transferring the data from the human body to robots and then turning the citizens of that country against their government to shake down their governments for money. This is what Jeffrey Epstein was working on. And then they killed him, and then they took over that business information. I don't believe Jeffrey Epstein is dead, but for the sake of bullshit, let's say he's dead. He's not dead. Okay, they don't kill people like that. Okay, all right. Incorporated citizens now own and control 100% of the technology that you engage with and the data mining related to the means of production and service under incorporation. Incorporated citizens. Let me tell you the classes of people who incorporate their bodies: athletes, television celebrities, movie celebrities, models. Models ensure that they incorporate their body because their body is how they gain wealth, and models ensure their legs. The more expensive the model, the more their legs are worth. Did you guys catch that? So of course they're going to remove that from the internet. You think they want you to incorporate your body? Okay. All right. So the premise: any corporation injecting or data mining you, an incorporated citizen's secret, is engaging in monopolization of trade. They're engaging in espionage. Then comes the Espionage Act. Monopolization of trade is the Clayton Act. They're engaging in violation of trade secrets. They're engaging in antitrust laws, and they're engaging in violation of RICO laws. This is why they don't want you to know about incorporating your body. Let me tell you again who incorporates the body. Television personalities, movie personalities, government officials, we call these people models, athletes, billionaires. They all incorporate their bodies. And then they took it offline to tell you, no, you don't. Individual incorporated citizens under trade laws can merge to form a larger corporation. Let me show you the power of an incorporated civilian. Everyone press 1, because this is where your power to engage in business and market share, this is where the power, your power lies. People stick to the point, stick to the topic. This is where your power lies. Okay? I want you guys to catch this. This is where your power lies. Now watch this. How to incorporate your body? We're going to get to that. I'm going to do that in a part 2. I want to show you amplification. I want to show you what they mean by, they say, potential and exponents. Okay? I want you to understand multiplication. This is the power of an incorporated citizen. This is why they tell you you can't do it. One incorporated citizen, Rainetta Jones, I own everything in my body. And I am the owner of all the money governments, the churches, and the tech corporations made trafficking me. But I am one person. One person up against a monolith like that, even though I am the owner, doesn't have much of an effect. But let me show you multiplication at work. One incorporated citizen plus one incorporated citizen under their laws can do what they call a merger. So now you have 2 incorporated citizens. But there's not really a lot of power. Naturally, when you incorporate, if you have technology in your body, both of us own the technology in our bodies. Both of us inherit all of the money the criminals made off of us. But the power to get that money and the power to get the money is hindered because it's 2 people up against a beast. Now, if Sean, Patrick, Eve, Stacy, Mark, and Jane, under the laws, under business laws, we all are incorporated and we mergers and acquisitions, we can form now a larger corporation. But even though if we're implanted, we are 100% owner of the technology in our bodies, according to their laws, we still don't really have much of an impact. But now watch this. If 1 million in the state of Illinois incorporate their bodies, and 3 million in the state of New York individually incorporate their bodies, and 3 million in California incorporate their bodies, and 7 million, I don't know if there's 7 million people in Kansas, but 7 million people in Kansas incorporate their bodies, and 1 million in Colorado incorporate their bodies, and all of us merge. Isaac, I don't want the negativity. Oh, good luck with that, dealing with these people stuck in the matrix. Okay, I get your comment. Okay? No, the government is watching this. But what I am teaching you is not outside of their laws. Don't come with the negativity. These are their laws. People are telling you to go against the system. What I'm showing you is not against the system. This is the system. I'm not yelling at you, you know I get passionate. I am not going against their laws. These are their laws. People are telling you to become a sovereign citizen. That goes against their laws. People are telling you do this and do that. I'm like, you're going against their laws. I'm not going against their laws. These are their laws. Nothing I have taught you goes in violation of federal and state commercial laws. Nothing. Mergers and acquisitions It's part of contract and business laws. I am not going against the government. The government cannot accuse me of going against it. These are their laws. Now, watch this. 1 million in Illinois, 3 million incorporated citizens, 3 million in California, 7 million in Kansas, 1 million in Colorado, 2 million in Texas, according to government mergers and acquisitions, can come together and create a mega corporation. The feds can't do anything because they're going to say, these are our laws. They tell you become a sovereign citizen. This goes against their laws. That's why they come after you. I'm not going against their laws. These are their laws. Now watch this. Whoa, wait, whoa. Let's do the math. 3, 2 and 1, 3, 3 and 3, 6, 9, 9 and 1, 10 and 6, 16, 17. That's 17 million people now merging to form a mega corporation, according to federal commerce laws. Do you know any mega corporation with 17 million people in it? No. No one could say I'm going against the feds because the feds set this up. I am only showing the people what the federal government and what corporations set up. How am I going against the feds? Now watch this. Do you know a corporation with 17 million people in it? It doesn't exist. You just merged and created what they call a mega corporation. And these are just sample numbers. Now let's continue. According to think tanks, federal laws by Congress, I am only teaching you what Congress created. I cannot be arrested. I cannot be imprisoned. I cannot be murdered. I am showing you the laws that Congress created. I am not violating any of their laws. So no one could say, I'm teaching the American people how to go against their government. Nothing here goes against their government. This is what their government created. Now let's continue. According to international trade, which is governed by the UCC, Universal Commercial Code, you can create a multinational corporation, which is bigger than a mega corporation, and you can create a supernatural corporation. Did everyone catch this? Did everyone catch what I just said? What we're looking on the screen, what we're looking at on the screen is a mega corporation created using incorporation, which is in line with federal laws. Mega corporations. But there are corporations that are bigger than mega corporations. They're called multinationals or supra corporations. Okay? Nothing I showed you is in violation of any government. Many people are telling you that in order to be free, you go against the government. I said, no, in order to be free, you do exactly what the government tells you to do. And that's what I'm doing. So why should I be afraid telling you to do what the government tells the corporations to do? Now let's look at how you create a supranational corporation, which is in line with commerce and trade in every country. You have the right to merge corporations internationally to create a multinational corporation and a supranational corporation. What does that mean? If there are 30 million incorporated citizens in Canada, they can merge with 600 million in India. That's 630 million. They can then merge with 500 million in China. These are all in line with mergers and acquisitions. As long as the parties are willing and as long as the trade is legal, they have the right to merge. 6 and 5 is 1 billion, 100 million, plus 30 is 1 billion, 130 million. When they merge with Africa, 500 million incorporated ones in Africa can now merge with China, India, and Canada. You're getting up to 2 billion. Who can now merge with 100 million in Russia? You're getting up to 2 billion, 200 million, 230 million, roughly. Who can now merge with 100 million in the United States? You're getting up to 2 billion, 330 million. Forming the largest corporation the earth has ever seen. I am not teaching you anything that is in violation of any country's laws. I am not teaching you anything that is in violation of international law. I am not teaching you anything that is in violation with federal law, state law, local laws, business laws, commerce laws, trade laws. Nothing I have taught you today is telling you go against the system. Everything I have taught you today is to go with the system. Did you guys catch that? Did you guys catch that? I don't think you guys catch the gravity of what I just taught you. These people are telling you, go against the system. I said, so the system can kill you? No. When you're studying martial arts, okay, the martial art, whatever, instructor, they tell you, you don't fight against your opponent. You fight with your opponent. Control the flow of energy and direct the energy to benefit you. I am not telling you go against the government. I am telling you follow your government's laws. And that is what I'm showing you. Aikido, there you go. Aikido. I am not telling you violate your government. I am telling you obey your government and its laws and go with it. And this is how you do it. The only difference is your body is yours and your intellectual property and your property now becomes yours, which is what the government said when they gave citizenship to corporations. I am not going against the feds. I am going with the feds and saying this is brilliant. Benjamin, let me show you something. Let me show you something, Benjamin. If their plan is by 2025 to 2030 to exterminate 90% of the population, if we know their plan is to exterminate 90% of the population, doing nothing would stop them from exterminating 90% of the population? doing nothing, would it prevent them from killing us? I wouldn't declare myself sovereign, because when you declare yourself sovereign, you make yourself an enemy of the corporation. You guys didn't catch what I've been teaching you all along. If you declare yourself a sovereign on paper, you are officially an enemy of the corporation. I am telling you, incorporate yourself. Thereby reinstating the Bill of Rights. Okay, so I'm going to have to do a part 2. Let me stop sharing the screen. Did everyone catch that? Did everyone catch what I was trying to educate them on, part 1? I need to make sure everyone caught that. Yeah? Did everyone receive? Next one, I will show you how to incorporate yourself. And all it requires you to do when you incorporate yourself is you incorporate yourself. You can have a DBA, a way of doing, a means of doing business, a DBA. And all it requires you to do when you incorporate yourself is in your charter, you got to stipulate in your charter that your body is the means with which you do business. Therefore, anyone violating your body is literally imposing a contract on you. And everyone, I'm not talking about biofield shielding. Keep the contract, keep the conversation on what I just taught. I don't want to delete anyone, because this is to at least preserve some people's lives. Yes, it is. Thank you, beloved. No problem, Thrice, no problem. You just came in, so I had to explain that. It is important when you create your charter, it must say that your body is the means with which you do business. And it must stipulate, I will have to do a part 2, because I have to break down step by step what you put in there. That your body is not just the means to do business, but your body, listen carefully, is wholly owned, because they're going to ask you when you incorporate, they're going to ask you, hey, does this corporation have any other owners? Nope, 100% mine. Why? Because your body is the means with which you do business, and you own 100% of the organs and the systems in your body. I'm going to have to do a part 2 explaining this, because, and how to go about it. I'm going to explain the body, the systems in relation to incorporation. Then I will explain how to incorporate. Okay? The most important part are the systems in your body. But the means in which you receive payment is your skills, and your skills are in your brain. This is why anyone coming to poke a hole under your skin must present you with a contract. Did everyone catch that? Why? Because your body is the means with which you earn an income. I'm going to explain that in the video. I did in this one. It's diversity jurisdiction, which means you can incorporate in a state. Okay? And this is why I showed you guys interstate versus intrastate laws. And you incorporate with a state, but you could do business anywhere you choose. Right? That's going to be for the next one. So great questions. That's for the next one. right? Now, what's important, and I'm going to wrap it up. What's important is that your brain, the systems in your body are 100% yours, meaning anyone attempting to alter your body, they must present a contract. Now, this gets into contract law. Anyone attempting to alter your body, poking a hole in your body, a needle, is an alteration to the body because you're putting something in it. They have to present a contract because your body is the means with which you trade. No, bingo, because Neuralink is changing your body. And let me show you, there are 3 parts to a contract. Yes, several parts to a contract. I'm going to talk about it briefly here, but in the next stream, I'm going to show you. There are several parts to a contract. First part is the parties involved. The second part is why you're having the contract. The third part is profits, money. Anyone coming to put anything in your body, they have to show how much money they're making and how much money you should get. If they don't show you financially how much money you should get, it is not a contract. Therefore, you have the legal right to say, nope, you can't put Neuralink in my head. You can't put chips in me. This is why I own everything. Yeshua, that's because parents did not incorporate their children. I explained in the beginning, parents can incorporate their children when they go to school. Anyone trying to poke a hole in their children now have religious exemptions. Yes, Quest, you have to look for, if you are what you call an employee, you got to go and look at the contract you signed and see what your rights are. And then you can build your contract around what rights you have. Okay? The other part to a contract is the duration and time. So no one can come and say, I'm going to lock your business down indefinitely. No, because under federal law, you are hindering trade. So we're going to talk about that later. Now, before I go, did this make sense to everyone? Does everyone understand clearly trade laws according to the federal government? Does everyone understand antitrust laws according to the federal government? Does everyone understand incorporation according to the federal government? Does everyone understand the rights when you incorporate according to the federal government? And does everyone understand when you incorporate your body? Incorporation does not mean a physical building. It means a body, because corporation means a body. So when you incorporate, it is your body that's being incorporated. Does everyone understand this? Does it make sense to everyone? Yeah? Okay. All right. That's how you get out. Now, I explained to you that yes, I am the owner and the owner of everything they did to me. But one person cannot incorporate. That is why I showed you mergers. Mergers is the key. People, unions are over because the government gave corporations more rights than the unions. Okay? Unions can be taken over. This is why you want to do business as a corporation and you want to merge with other corporations. You want mergers, not unions. Yes, because I believe in the UK you have some form of civil rights because you're not under a complete monarchy. You have to look up the rights given to the British people by Parliament. So yes, if you were under a monarchy, I'd say because monarchies, you are subject to the crown and you have no individual rights. Master document. Vaguely, I'll have to look it up. It has a ring to it, but I honestly don't remember. I'll look it up. Okay, master exit document. I'll look it up. I'll look it up. No, that I don't know. That I don't know. But I looked up something that sounds similar to that last night. But let me stick to the topic. I got to stick to the topic. Canada has a charter. Countries that don't have Bill of Rights, they have something called civil rights. That was the one good thing about Martin Luther King. Civil rights. Okay? Civil rights. Now, it is important that you understand, you doing this as an individual, you now own your body. But what makes these corporations powerful is what you call mergers and acquisitions. That is why I said to you, nothing I'm telling you is against federal law. I ain't stupid. No, Isaac, you didn't hear one thing I was trying to tell you. Your governments destroyed human rights and gave it to corporate citizens. You have no human rights. I'm trying to explain, you have no human rights. It is now corporate citizens' rights. The only solution is incorporation. And when you incorporate, you have legal right to merge. Don't wait until the last minute to understand what I'm trying to show you. They are taking over unions and taking away people's rights. You need to incorporate and merge. You need to incorporate and merge. Mergers and acquisitions are legal. And you have the right to do it. So, I hope this helps you guys understand a pathway forward to protect us from the Department of Government exterminators that are coming to kill us like cockroaches. And I hope this puts fire under people's feet, wake them up and show them, hey, there's a way out of this. And you won't be going against the corporation. You now be competing with the corporation, which is legal under federal law. Yes, Ali, you got it right. You understand what I'm trying to tell you. Nothing I'm telling you is illegal. The feds are not going to kill me because they're going to sit back and say, well, can't really kill her because we set this up. She's not telling the people to go against the government. She's telling the people obey the government. All of you say, oh, the feds are going to say she's telling the people obey us. She's telling the people do what we told them to do. The key is mergers, right? And I'm going to get into that when I break down why mergers will give you market share. What? When 1 billion of you who are incorporated merge, your trade secrets, your brain, now becomes the way in which you gain profit. It's your secrets, it's your data, it's your skills, it's your expertise. Now you can begin to compete with corporations because now you would have the largest market share. Now you would have what they call market share. I'll explain. I am not telling you to go against the feds. I am telling you to obey the feds. And by obeying the feds, you will save your life. Doing exactly what they told corporations to do. So nobody goes, the feds are going to come kill you. I'm telling you, do what the feds told the corporations to do. The feds told the corporation, do this, 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 this. I'm telling you, agree with the feds, do this, 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 this. The feds say you can merger, you could have mergers and acquisitions. I'm telling you, you can merger and acquisitions. The feds said, hey, You can engage in interstate, intrastate, and global trade. I'm telling you, you can do the same. I'm not telling you to do anything against the banking mafia. I'm telling you, obey the banking mafia and save your life. I am telling you what to do. Obey the banking cartel criminals and save your life. That's the only key. The only difference is, I'm sure you had to save your life instead of having them kill you and hook up your brain to a computer. Love you guys. And that's why I'm going to teach you why your neural data on the mergers is the best thing you could do. That's why I'm going to teach you why you want to merge with 1 billion other incorporated people. And you're going to merge. And the property of this supernatural corporation is your neural data. I am only telling you to do exactly what the Fed said to do. Nobody could come kill me. Because the Fed, you think the Feds are not like, what the hell? We can't kill her because she's telling the people to do what we told them to do. She's not telling the people, break the law or go against the government. What? You think they're not watching this video going, this woman? The only difference is I'm preserving your life. Mergers and acquisitions. You don't want to use acquisitions because acquisitions is you're taking, right? You're buying up other companies. You know, you're not buying up another person's body. That's slavery. But you can merge. Now, if 1 billion engineers incorporated their bodies, do you know the neural data of these engineers is now the trade secret of these engineers? And they cannot come and put a chip in your head and steal the data. Why? Because it's your trade secrets. And they would be doing what is called misappropriation. They now have to pay you if they're taking your neural data to train an AI or to train a robot. You following? Mergers is what you need. Love you guys. I hope this inspired you to get thinking about legal ways to save your life, save your property, safeguard your property, and not anger the feds. Okay? Love you guys. Peace out. Bye.